Welcome to the very first episode of the Go-Go Pod, brought to you by Guitars Over Guns. I am your facilitator today, Zaya Walker, the Alumni Coordinator, and it is my pleasure to be your facilitator for this exciting new series. In our debut episode, we're diving into the essence of what makes Go-Go experience so transformative. We're focusing on the powerful relationships between mentors and students, how these connections shape lives, inspire growth, and leave a lasting impact after graduation. Today, we have the privilege of hearing from some of our exceptional alumni who have generously agreed to share their stories. Can you give them a hand? So without further ado, thank you for joining us, and we're excited to kick off this journey with you and showcase the incredible impact we have here at Guitars Over Guns. So let's dive in and hear from our remarkable guest.
Hey, make some noise! Okay, well, I guess we can just get started with, and we'll go down the row like this. You'll say your name, the school you attended, your instrument, and how long you were in Go-Go. So your name.
One more time. Mm-hmm. Yeah, say that one more time.
No, you can start. We can just go down the list with your name. Your name?
V.
Tony.
I'm Z.
Jeremiah.
And I'm Jay Howard.
Jay Howard is great. I'm MJ. We are not alumni. We're your lovely hosts. Make some noise for us.
Yes, thank you.
All right. Tell us the year that you started with Guitars Over Guns.
Oh, like 2017, 2018?
And who were your mentors?
Add to Pinky Ring,
One time with
Truth,
Pinky.
Andrew, Jeremiah, Z, and Dennis.
Notice she said Z and Jeremiah, who are also sitting with us. So it's a full circle pipeline situation here, okay? Go ahead, Tony.
Well, I graduated from Curie High School, and I have been with Go-Go for a long time, so I've had a lot of mentors. I'd say I joined probably around the same time V did, and the most consistent mentors that I've had have been Andrew. When I started, Mark was starting, so I didn't really get to see him until my high school years, but Mark, Joaquin has been there pretty much the entire time. Dana, Phil. There's a lot, so it's kind of, now thinking back, I'm like, dang, it's a bunch, so I think those have been the main ones.
Okay. All right, Z.
So I am part of the class of 2020 from Haven Studios, and my mentors are Ad 2 and Dennis Thompson.
2017, Haven, Southside in the building.
Yes, sir.
And Ad 2 and Dennis Thompson.
Amazing. Okay. Jay, you wanna chime in?
Sure, I would love to chime in. Thank you for giving me the opportunity. So we're just gonna jump right in, all right? Is that all right, everybody? Studio audience, please make some noise. All right, so we have a couple questions here. So how has your relationship with your mentor influenced your personal and professional path? V, go first, go ahead.
Professionally, I feel like everybody is really good at giving advice, like really good advice and tips. Even when I'm like I still go and record at Haven, and Jeremiah is my engineer. When I'm in the booth, he consistently gives me like tips on what I can do better. Each take I do, there's always something that I can improve on, and he lets me know what that is so I can get to a better place with my music. Personally, if I'm being 100% honest, these people saved my life. I would not be in this room sitting in front of you had they not been there. I would not be here in front of you. So I'm really, really grateful for that. They genuinely have all saved my life in their own way.
Yes, please clap it up for that. Clap it up for that. So real fast, Jeremiah, with hearing what you just said, it saved her life, and you being a mentor, you being somebody that's been there, what does it feel like to hear that?
It's very hard to put it into words, but when you operate out of love and you learn what it means to really be there and support people, to hear their language change about themselves and the way that they think and the way that they view themselves, it's beyond gratification at that point. I'm so proud of you every day. You make me a better person. You taught me how to listen better. You taught me how to mentor better. And I'm just going to continue to be here and support you as much as I can.
I'm just gonna say this one time and one time only. Somebody please bring some tissue up here, because I do feel like it might be some water worse for me. Keep there it is. Come on, one time for Kleenex.
Shout out to Kleenex.
Okay. Is there ever a moment, and I'm gonna ask this question to Z and I'll come back. What is one of the most impactful memories that you have with a mentee?
Oh, wow. There's so many. There's no way to just pick one. So I have to share two. Sorry, I got to share two.
Please do.
I had a really lengthy conversation with V yesterday, just about this week. This is her first experience at Institute as a mentor instead of a mentee now. So she's in this like sort of transitional space at the moment. And just chopping it up with her about what this experience has been like was really impactful for me, because I got to see it through her eyes. And to echo Jeremiah's sentiments, you make me a better mentor, V, and you inspire me every day to live in my truth and live in my power. That's something that you are exceptional at this point, and I am extremely proud of the woman that you're becoming. Alt girls all day. Period. But I had a moment with a mentee this summer. She was struggling with things that I have struggled with my entire life. I saw my high school self reflected in her eyes, and I honestly said to my team member, I said to Ryan, like, I don't know if I'm the person for this. Like, I don't know if I can be what she needs. But during my last week of sessions with her, I pulled her out into the hallway, and we just sat on the floor and had a real conversation about, you know, our struggles with like our mental wellness, and feeling like being enough, and the look of relief in her eyes when I said, I am your mentor as long as you want me. You know, and I like that look of relief healed a part of me. And those are the moments that I find so fulfilling, when just by sharing my story and the things that I've experienced, I can make the learning curve for somebody else just a little bit less steep. You know, so those would be the two most recently. And there's a lot. There's no way that I could like cover all of them, but I would say those are the two.
Okay, thank you. Y'all can clap it up. Y'all can definitely clap it up. So, yes. Absolutely. All right, this question is going to be for you, sir. When was there a moment for you that really stuck out to you and felt like, you want to be a part of this Go-Go family and stay a part of the Go-Go family, but even beyond that, when was a moment that you really felt like a mentor was there for you?
Well, for a while, I've been put in a position of kind of mentorship. I used to work with another a nonprofit where I was put in very similar, I guess, roles. So going into Go-Go, I kind of already had a feel for how to go about doing that, and how to be a mentor. And I think now, for the most part, the way that I feel is I just want to refine what I already know, and I think a lot of that is not only the experience, but also just being around great mentors. Pretty much the entire Chicago unit is incredible.
I would agree. Y'all make some noise for Chicago mentors. That is absolutely the truth.
Yes,
You can continue. You can definitely continue. Yes. Clap it up.
The amount of influence that specifically Andrew and Joaquin have had on me is pretty huge. Andrew influenced me a lot into wanting to become an official mentor, and he always pushed that idea as long as I was comfortable with it. I don't know if that makes sense, but for as long as I showed interest, he kept pushing me to be in that role. And then I'm going to be teaching production, like live audio, and I wouldn't have learned those skills without Joaquin. So both of them were pretty huge pillars in me wanting to become a mentor or becoming a mentor. In terms of a specific moment that made me stay with GoGo, I would say would probably be, multiple moments, but I can condense it into one, I guess, description would be our showcases. The showcases at Curie especially were very emotional, and everyone was very, very comfortable with being uncomfortable, and everyone was very willing to share their art and very willing to make their art extremely personal. So a lot of the time it would get really emotional, or our guests would be crying. People would be giving speeches at a showcase. Right. Yeah. So I think those were probably one of the main reasons I decided I wanted to continue. Just the feeling of seeing people be that comfortable with being uncomfortable, and knowing that you're the reason why they feel that way is, I think, pretty huge and very fulfilling. So.
That is awesome. Yes, clap it up. And I'm gonna pass it to my co-host. But would you say that at the showcases, would you say the thing that was on display, if you will, was love?
I'd say so, yeah, definitely, yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to know. That's it. All right, thank you.
Yeah, shout out to love, huh? Okay, this question is for Z and Jeremiah. We got to hear your perspective as mentors in this space, and I'm interested in hearing more about your experiences as mentees and how they've shaped you to be the mentors that you are. So I see you have very outstanding and impactful relationships with your mentees. And so I'm wondering if there's anyone in particular or any experience in particular that you can speak to that shaped you for these moments, for building with these students.
I guess I'll kick it off. So my experience walking into mentorship is a lot different than what our mentees experience, because we're meeting them in grade school, we're meeting them middle school, high school. And I was in college when I met Ad too. I had no idea that you could be an adult and have a mentor. And it was interesting because I don't know who's been in college or who hasn't, but when you're in college, it's like you're figuring out that next phase of your life. So you have those transitions are very heavy for you and everything. And for me, it's like I've always struggled with having all the things that I really needed to move forward, but not really choosing those all the time or making excuses. And yeah, procrastination can be heavy, especially when you're trying to figure out what part of yourself do you want to grow when you're 21 and all the rest of that. So Ad pulled my card one day, and I live by this saying, and I use it when I teach, I remind myself when I need to check myself, because sometimes you got to check yourself. And he said, either you're going to find a way or you're going to find an excuse. And that stuck with me because it's very easy for us when we're talking to ourselves in our personal time to rationalize everything else but what needs to go down, right? And living and walking in truth is an everyday thing. It's not just a one-time gig. So that moment in particular really stood out to me, and it's just, I've modeled my life after that. And it also echoes things that I've learned from Dennis, with Dennis just really being a perfect example of building out the life that you want and taking it with realistic steps and learning how to accept failure in certain spaces and not like just give up on that. So those two things in particular are pillars in my life now that I practice personally, and it shows up in my work. And I'm just continually grateful for that.
Go ahead, Z.
Yeah. My experience was fairly similar to Jay's. I was an adult when I walked into Haven for the first time, and my introduction was sort of unorthodox because I was unofficially a mentee for a little while before I actually started coming for real. But once I did, I got the opportunity to see someone like me living a life that I wanted to live. And I had no concept for that before I met Dennis. And he practices the things that I hope to exemplify in my life. He is a man of great integrity. And to keep it a buck with everybody, most of the men in my family have failed me. And through my mentorship from Dennis, I've healed a lot of trauma there. And, you know, Dennis is probably the first adult man in my life who saw my value and then poured into me so I could live that value. And so my experience as a mentor is always trying to pay it forward, because the mentorship that I received is a great blessing and an enormous privilege. Not everyone has the opportunity to get that, especially coming from the kind of communities that we come from. And I want to make sure that the students and the young people that I teach know that there is always an adult, an older adult, a big sister, someone out there who is championing them and who is pushing them to be their greatest self. Because it ain't all peaches and cream. Dennis done called me out a few times, and he still continues to do it when I'm falling short. But I appreciate that, because a big part of mentorship is making sure that your mentees are being their best and their highest selves. You know, when we were having our separate region conversations, Ad said highest self. All of the mentors in this room, especially in the Chicago region, like, our theme for this year is being our highest selves. And, you know, people who have taught with me, Jay knows how I'm coming about accountability, so does Ryan. You know, I'm really big on making sure that our mentees know that I have very high expectations of them, and it's because I know for a fact that they can meet them. You know, and exceed those expectations and be greater and be better than even what I expect. There's so many young people in the world who do not have a champion, who do not have somebody to say, I know you can do better. Hearing an adult, somebody that you look up to, somebody that you respect, to hear them say that to you, it's like, it's a feeling of pride, but it's also humbling, because it makes you want to check yourself. It makes you have that ambition to be greater and to live better, not for anybody else, but for yourself. And I had never felt that, the desire to live better for myself, before I met my mentor. You know, Dennis isn't here right now, but I've felt him with me every step of the way because of the way that I'm pouring into others. And the only way I'm able to do that is because he reminded me how important it is for me to pour into myself.
So beautiful. Thank you.
I got chills.
Yes, please clap it up for Dennis too. Please, yes. So speaking of pouring into, both of you actually had an opportunity to come and see our boys at the gay program, and there was an opportunity where you poured into my boys, and I really do appreciate that. And I mean that. I told myself I ain't gonna cry up here, but I ain't gonna make no promises. Because I'm very emotional about the same way that everybody is emotional about their mentees, and the mentees are emotional about their mentors. This is what this whole organization is about, and I want everybody in here to take that into consideration. So when you do go into these schools, you remember these conversations, you remember these things that were said, and this is something that you can do and pour into somebody else, because that's what's missing, y'all. And we have to be the piece that's missing. But let me get back. So, with that being said, okay, bring it back, to sleep, no slack. You really poured into our boys, and you also had some really great conversations with the boys as well. So one thing that she did, I guess I'll just go ahead and say what you did. She affirmed all of our students, and Bertrand could attest to that too. We had a moment. Ryan as well came too. Thank you for coming through. All the homies in the back that came in. Yeah, first of all, shout it up for Guitars Over Guns and all the beautiful, awesome mentors that we have. Let's celebrate ourselves. But what she did at the end of this session was told all of the boys to write down, and somebody mentioned something about this earlier too, about using the phone. It was like, wouldn't you be more inclined to use your phone, or if they're on the phone, diverge where it's gonna go. So she said, take out your phone and write I am, and whatever it is that you wanna be or whatever it is that you wanna do. So I am powerful, I am loved, I am intentional, I am all of these things. And after that, she poured into him and said, you are loved, you are safe. And, ooh, give me 2 seconds. At the end, when I asked the boys what were they grateful for, they said for her coming in and to be able to have conversations amongst each other. He said, because in the hood, we don't get to do this. Because in the hood, we worried about getting out the trenches. But we was able to come and have a whole conversation and everybody opened up. See, we have to create a safe space, dog. It's so important. It's so important. It's so important. But if nobody cares, one, what you know until they know you care. That's number one. She came in with intention. Jeremiah came in with intention. So with that being said, and pouring into, and a matter of fact, I'm gonna diverge this to y'all. What do y'all feel? How does it feel to be poured into, and do you feel that? Do you feel that from your mentors? Either one of y'all can answer first if you feel it. I know I asked a bunch of questions and said a bunch of things. My emotions got the best of me. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, like I said, I definitely can feel that. The amount of persistence that Andrew had with me was definitely felt. And the one of the main reasons I respect Joaquin so much is because he always pushes me to my limit, but in a way that doesn't break me. He helps me see that my limit isn't my actual limit, but he doesn't push me too far to the point where I don't want to keep trying anymore. But it definitely does feel amazing to know that someone sees potential in you and is trying their absolute hardest to make you realize it as well. And I feel like a lot of the time, especially from, because of where we grow up from or the dynamic of our families, that's not something that's necessarily thought about very much. At least for me, since I'm Hispanic, something that's very, very huge for us is our grades. That is massive because a lot of the time our parents aren't very educated. So for many, many Hispanics that have immigrant parents, for their younger years, all they can think about are their grades. And eventually it ends up consuming them and becomes all that they think that they are. And the moment that they get like 1C, they don't know how to cope with it. And I, through personal experience, that was something that I worried about for a really, really long time. And I didn't stop worrying about it until like junior year of high school. And that was right around the time where I started to really, really get involved with go-go. Go-go definitely helped me realize that I am more than just my grades or my educational status.
Thank you for sharing that. Go ahead.
Oh my God, y'all finna make me cry. I done cried every day I'm out here. Y'all not getting no more tears from me. I done cried every day. It feels, I can't even put it into words. It feels like true and unconditional love. To have people pour into you is to have them like see you for who you are in every version of yourself. There's not a version of myself that these individuals do not accept. Even on my worst days, they found ways to make space for me and find ways that for me to do things that may help me or things that can give me my voice back. And coming from a space where I haven't received a lot of affection in my life. I'm very weird with it. You guys are very affectionate, and I love it. I love it so much. I've gotten so many hugs, and I didn't even know I liked hugs for real. I was telling people, anytime somebody tried to hug me, I'm like, don't touch me. I don't like hugs. Right. But no,
Sounds
y'all
like my
literally.
sister. My sister over there, that's my sister. She hates hugs too. You just got to give it sometimes.
But yeah,
Yes, go ahead.
y'all really are affectionate, and it gives me those things that I was missing like throughout my life, throughout my childhood and even into like my teen years. I wish that I had somebody constantly pouring into me. It was nights, days, even now, even before I got here, before I even got on that plane, the same day. I was praying for that. I was praying for that support. I was praying for that love because it was something that I needed right now. And that's exactly what I got. I got it from everybody in this room. And so, with that being said, I love every single one of you. I love every conversation I've got to have with you. And if I haven't, please talk to me. I love you all. You all are great. Thank you for every hug. Thank you for every compliment. Thank you for everything that you have shared with me. It has truly been like amazing having somebody pour back into me because I needed that. So thank you.
Yes, we love you, V. Clap it up. Clap it up for being poured into. Okay. Let's lighten it up a little bit, huh? So anybody can really take this. I want to talk about things you've achieved. Maybe something that you've tried that you've never thought you would try before, and joining GoGo now you've achieved this, you've set a goal, or you've done something that you didn't think you would do, you were scared to do it, and then you met your mentor and you did it and it was amazing. Okay, let's get some success stories.
I would love to take this.
Talk about it.
I started a business because I met my
Let's
mentor.
go!
Thank you. I started my own photography business because I met my mentor. I learned how to talk to clients. I learned how to manage expectations. I learned how to conduct myself in professional spaces. I was contracted by the Sears Tower in Chicago for upwards of a year doing event photography at a social club on the 67th floor because I met my mentor. Thank you so much. And that was kind of the highlight for me as a photographer, where I was like, dang, I could do this for real.
Yes, you can.
And now I feel comfortable outsourcing my services to other event clients. And event photography is my bread and butter. It's how I make the most of my money. But I did not know how to write a contract. I didn't know how to have conversations with clients. I didn't know how to conduct myself as a businesswoman. All I was at the time was a creative who wanted to sustain myself off of my art. Because I can't work a 9-to-5. That's the death of my soul. I can't do it. I really can't. And Dennis has said something very similar to me about himself. And so seeing somebody who also does this for real as a professional on top of mentoring lets me know that I can do this for myself, going back to like pouring into yourself. I can pour into my own creative journey at the same time that I'm pouring into other people. And oftentimes they beget each other, right? It's like when I'm talking to my students about their goals and about what they want to achieve, they inspire me because they take so many risks. And the reason is because we create spaces where they're able to embrace failure. We give them a launching pad to spring up from if they make a mistake, right? And Dennis gave me that because I failed a lot. Like, I've only been a business owner for 4 years and I failed a lot. But I always try to make sure that I fall forward. And so starting my business was a huge thing for me. Also, I had no idea I was going to enjoy producing as much as I do, but I'm Haven Cinema's producer. This will be my 3rd year producing the music video in 2025.
Come on, girl. Come on now. Make some noise for it.
So, but all of these things came from meeting someone who reminded me that I have the capability, because I struggle with anxiety a lot. And that can sometimes stop me from taking those risks. But having somebody there remind me of the growth that I've had in a very short time, and reminding me of my successes, because I can be really hard on myself too, is paramount to me continuing to take those risks and doing the thing even though I'm terrified. You know, bravery is not the absence of fear, it's moving in spite of it. And so I move in spite of my fear, and I continue on this upward trajectory. And I'm able to do it because I know I have my mentors behind me.
That was beautiful. Yes, thank you so much for that.
Give it up.
So, yes, clap it up. And it's funny you say fear, too. So, for me, I have like these little things I do with fear. So, it's either forget everything and run or face everything and rise.
Yes, sir.
So, that's something that I feel like we can take. And I know we're about to switch. We're going to switch the panel, but I want to ask everybody that's up here. I just want to ask you, how was your experience yesterday going to the GATE program? Just to be a little biased, because I love my boys. I just want to see his experience. And then I'm going to ask y'all the other question after that.
It felt like home. And I know for some people that might sound a little weird, but when you come from the same places that they come from, and you know what it's like when you're trying to move upward in your life, or you fall or you make mistakes, and to be in a position where you're blessed to start meeting other people around you, especially black men in these communities that are positive, that are making those differences and those decisions to be there with you. It was amazing. I saw some young men in there that looked so much like some of my boys at home. Yeah. And I had to gather myself for a second, because I was like, man, it's like, I'm just excited to go back home and just to be with them and to continue this practice. And I'm glad that I finally got to see our program out here, because they need what y'all bring to the table. And it is very important for us to nurture our young men as grown men as well. And I just want to commend you for that. And I want to commend my homie Bert. Bert, where you at?
Back there.
Put your hand up, Bert.
Continue, man. I want y'all to continue on. I want y'all to continue to support each other. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Stand on the 10 toes, player. Thank you again for coming. So the last question I have for everybody up here, what is one thing that you're most grateful for from this week?
This week being Institute.
Correct.
I'm gonna keep it a bean with y'all. I'm a straight shooter. If you know me, I keep it real. Straight like that. I know we had a big moment. I'm not finna get into it. We done talked it to death. But when I saw V get up and have the opportunity to speak for herself and to hear the words, I remember the first time I had the opportunity to mentor you. It was a summer program at Clemente with Pinky Rain. And V walked immediately in, she saw me, she said, "What's up?" and then told me something very crazy and went out in the hall and had a panic attack. And it's been so many times where Via's book sessions has not come through, even if it was nobody there, because she was afraid to use her voice, and because she was afraid and didn't want to deal with people not seeing her for who she really is. But to see you stand up there and speak for yourself and stand in your power as a black woman. I'm so proud of you.
Getting welled up over here, y'all.
Thank y'all. Thank you for sharing that. And it was a beautiful moment, and I think you articulated yourself very well. And this is what this work is for. And it's such a beautiful thing. So we're gonna continue and go on down. We try to keep it a little brief because they want us to cut it off, but I don't ever want you to feel like you're gonna be silent. So say what you need to say, get it, do your thing.
I have two moments. One of them actually happened yesterday. If anybody in here is an eldest daughter, an eldest granddaughter, and an only or close to an only child, like, you know the struggle that comes with holding that responsibility. All of the black women in this room also understand what it feels like to have to shoulder everything for everybody, because that is a continuous expectation. I don't have older sisters in my life, and the women in my family are very traumatized because of the generation that they grew up in and because of their family dynamics with their parents. And so they're not capable of pouring into me. I don't villainize them for it because I understand it. But I had to grow up emotionally very fast. And I had a moment last night, and Alicia and Erica and Ashley, they poured into me and they prayed over me. They prayed to God that I find healing, and that was so impactful because I don't have older sisters. I'm always in the position of being the big sister and the older sister for somebody else. And having three strong and beautiful black women with large voices and large personalities pouring into me this way, I can't thank you all enough for what you did. And to V, coming from a black woman who has been silenced and who has had men repeatedly do nothing but try to humble me my entire life, do not ever let anybody, man, woman, or otherwise, take away your voice, because it is powerful and it is so needed. You are 20 years old, right? There are adults in this room twice your age, 3 times your age, who were impacted so deeply by what you said and what you shared. You know, I remember coaching you and your poetry team from King at Haven, and teaching you all how to craft your words, to tell your stories and own your narratives. And I remember the junior high school version of you. And to see your growth just in the last 4.5 years to this point, you are a powerhouse and you deserve every moment. Your light is so bright. And that's the thing about having a bright light, right? People they're jealous, they want to snuff it out, they feel a way about the way that you share yourself. That's a them problem. Like, real talk, that's not a you problem at all, and I don't want you to internalize that. You know, I want you to continue to stand in your power, because your voice is very powerful. You being authentically yourself gives other people permission to do the same. And I want you to continue to do that. And seeing you step the way that you did, Yes.
Beautiful,
Yes.
beautiful. Yes. Clap it up. Clap it up. And one time, make some noise for black women in here. I'm gonna do it. Make some noise for black women. Stand up for yourself. We gotta protect the women and the children, baby. I don't play about it. I'm gonna keep it real, keep it funky.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Well, my thing is less profound.
You don't know that. You too sleep. Come on.
I was gonna say my roommates. I got stuck with the NYC crew.
Shout out to New York City in the building.
And these past like 2-3 days, I've gotten pretty close to them, and now I really want to go to New York City.
Let's go.
Not only because of the mentors, but also their mentees. I have to meet Big Mac. I gotta meet Big Mac. And they kind of balanced me out a lot during these past 3 days. I kept them cool. They kept me energetic, you know. And then, you know, but yeah, I'm
Awesome.
grateful for my
Let's
roommates.
go. Say
Come
new
on.
experiences.
New
One time.
experiences.
Say new friends. Right. Yeah. Go ahead, B.
Okay. As so many, mostly for me, it's been the conversations that I've been having. But 2 conversations that like really stuck out to me and really important to me are the conversation that I had with Ad Wednesday morning. Ask Ad this, I'll say this all the time. He is my voice of reason. He's like that little angel over my shoulder. And it's like, he was like the first real example of a father figure I had to I got to experience within my life. So the type of love that I had from him is different. And I was in a really bad mental space coming here, and I was ready to go. I was about to dip. I was about to get my stuff. I said, girl, I'm done. I'm gonna get my stuff. I'm gonna go. But I sat down and I had like a talk with him, and he affirmed me and affirmed that the way that I was feeling. And he said that whatever you do, like I'm with you. And I really, really appreciate that. So thank you. And the second conversation that I had was with Alicia. It was on Tuesday. And I met you briefly at Evergreen during our Go-Go video shoot. And I spoke to you very briefly, and I didn't know what location you were at for real, and I never thought that I would get the chance to like connect with you, but being here, I did get the chance to connect with you. And you are what I wanted as a kid. For an example, a woman that is like me, that I could look up to. And you sitting down and telling me that I am great made me feel that I am great. And if you ever feel down, I want you to know that you are great too, and that you have so much influence and so much power over everybody in this room. Everybody in this room loves you.
And do.
And do. Clap it up for Alicia.
Everybody in this room loves you. You are amazing, and I am blessed to have been in this space to where I could sit down and I could have a conversation with you, and I could take in the words that you were saying to me. The child me, really, really loves you and really appreciates you for everything that you do and every single word that you have spoken to me and have poured into me. Thank you so much.
This is so beautiful. So, ladies and gentlemen, you gonna clap it up. You have an announcement.
So, y'all's flight got delayed. We got a couple more minutes if that's cool with everybody.
I'm chilling. Period.
Give it
Beautiful.
up. Say flight delayed.
Flight delayed.
I like
You too
that.
sleep.
All right, so you too sleep. Okay, so if you could tell, you could either say this to your younger self or a younger person who might be looking for some guidance or looking to have space like this, what's something that you would share with them to either empower them or convince them to hang out with guitars over guns. You guys, whoever wants to start.
I would want to say that, and I think I said this during my Go-Go interview as well, that your mentors are going to be there for you outside of that classroom. Do not be afraid to reach out and be vulnerable, because these are people that care about your feelings and care about you, and people that want to see you here on this earth. If you are going through anything, like anything at all, make sure that you at least try to reach out to them. They're never going to shut you down. Even if they don't have the time, they will make it. Please try your best to reach out.
So, anybody else?
What was the question again?
You read my
You
mind.
too, sleep.
My bad. Oh wait, no, I remember.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm not sure. I feel like everything that has happened to me has been for a reason, and it's like everything that's been happening to me or has happened to me have been perfectly placed dominoes. So I in terms of talking to my younger self, I guess I'd just say trust the process. 'Cause I mean, everything has happened to me for a reason. So, and talking to my future self, I guess I just don't want to forget where I came from.
Yes.
That was beautiful. Beautifully said.
All right, Z.
To be able to talk to my younger self, it's really hard to encapsulate what I would like to say to her in a single sentence, but I will try. I'm gonna come back to that. What I would say to a younger person, one of the beautiful young people who are interested in being a part of this organization, is to quote Andrew, you do 90% of the work just by showing up. So all you have to do is walk into the room. It doesn't matter if you're at 20% that day, your mentors and your classmates will give you the extra 80. You know, if you're feeling 90, we will give you the extra 10 and then overflow so you can pour into somebody else. You know, we will meet you where you are, and that's the importance of this work that we do. You know, we have to, and with the program that you have, you meet these young men where they are and you provide that safety. You know, the vulnerability that they share was phenomenal. I walked away from that session feeling so exhausted, but in a good way, because I know I spent 2 hours pouring into the people who needed that love very badly. You know, and it reaffirmed why the work that we do is so important. So I would tell the young people, show up, literally, walk in the door. You know, whether it's by accident or by purpose, you know, just walk into the room, because every space, every go-go space you enter, you will be welcomed. You will be loved, and you will find some safety. What I would tell my younger self is that I would say you are safe, because I haven't felt safe in a very long time. And that hypervigilance is very exhausting. And so I would tell my younger self that you are safe. And I would tell her that you don't have to be perfect to be worthy of love, because I've internalized that too. And it's very stressful. You can't be perfect. None of us are perfect. Like I said, I've erred a lot. And even though I absolutely suck at taking that advice, I give it to my mentees all the time, because I don't want to see them struggle the way that I have.
That was beautiful. Thank you. Clap it up, girl. Yes, I got you.
Okay, so we'll hear from Jeremiah, and then we'll go to commercial break.
Yes, absolutely.
This is kind of tough. I really vibrate with everything that everyone has been saying, all the sentiments. I would say to that young person that might see this or might hear about it, whatever's going on, I say, why not? Give it a try. We try a lot of stuff, but we don't always try for ourselves, so give it a try.
That was beautiful. So listen, you got some more?
Leave it at that.
To sleep, okay. So ladies and gentlemen, real fast, yes, clap it up.
Give it up for our Chicago alumni.
Thank you for the panel.
Give it up for our Chicago alumni.
Absolutely. And now that everybody's standing, I want everybody, let's all stand up. Everybody stand up. Everybody stand up, please. If you can, if you're willing. I want everybody to turn down. Let's bring the claps down. Find somebody and look them in the eye. Find somebody, look them in the eye. Find somebody, look them in the eye. Find somebody, look them in the eye. Now, look, everybody giggling. I know it's a little intense. I see you. I got you, bro.
All right.
Listen, what I want you to do is, I want you to say this. Say, I love you. I need you. You're needed. I love you. You're needed. We here. You too, Sleep. Y'all clap it up and make some noise for yourself. Beautiful. Thank y'all.
All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break and call up our mic